Apparently, John Wick 4 is really well received, which I cannot get behind. People are saying it's the best movie out of the franchise. It's a great movie. To me, it was an awful movie. Um, if you can suspend disbelief, you'll be fine, but I just can't. I think way too logically. Um, Part of my family is in the military, so they know a little bit about guns and how they work. I watch some fighting sports, uh, some martial arts. Uh, they use bows and katanas in this movie instead of guns, which seems absolutely ridiculous how any of those weapons would inflict damage if a gun won't. The movie isn't coherent in its logical progression. They travel through Europe and just happen to go to the two capital cities of the largest European countries outside of Russia, because Russia currently is a hot topic, so you can't really talk about them. You're in Paris, going to the Eiffel Tower, then the Arc de Triomphe, and whilst you're in Berlin, you're in a pseudo club, which named Heaven and Hell. If you then see the scene outside, that's not Berlin. That's not. You're not clubbing in that area. Never. John Wick uses a handgun at a range of like 20, 30 yards, which not very useful. A blind man fights non-blind people in unreasonable ways. If you are a logical person and you can't turn off your logical mind, do not watch this movie. It is absolutely horrendous. I don't understand how so many reviews are positive, non-negative about this. It's no, no. How this is supposed to be the best one out of the series doesn't make any sense. Somebody gets their neck cut with the backside of the katana. Katana has a one-sided blade, as far as I know. John Wick uses nunchucks, where there is concrete on the ground and concrete tables that he could use to smash somebody's head into to get the job done much quicker. Um, there is a club scene, as per usual in a John Wick movie. To be clear, I enjoyed the first and the second John Wick movie. The third one, meh. The fourth one, I cannot stand at all. The club scene, there's shooting going on, and people seeing that shooting. Then there's people with axes running those axes into heads and fighting. People being dropped from, let's say, 5 yards up. And they don't care. They keep dancing. They obviously are looking. And then, even when the shooting's going on, nobody cares. Eventually, they start running. But the running is super casual. They jog down the stairs whilst running for their lives. And then they jump into cars after having been clubbing in Berlin. That does not happen most of the time, especially not into the driver's seat. People's decisions are not up to par to what I'd expect from professional murderers and killers and assassins. It doesn't make sense from front to back, really. I gotta be honest, I walked out after 2 hours of watching the movie. I'm guessing I missed a great car chase scene that makes zero sense in the end. And I heard you see his grave at the end. So maybe he's dead. I genuinely don't know. I don't want to know. I'd be happy if he's dead so we don't get a fifth movie, because this is genuinely just the Fast and Furiousification of John Wick, which I do not stand for. They're traveling to parts of the world to include those parts so that people from those parts of the world will feel like there's a shout out to them. They do a sightseeing tour in Paris, in Berlin. They're in Berlin, so the two of the biggest countries in Europe. And then in Berlin, they have a Russian Orthodox church, so that they can include Russia without they include Russians without including Russia, so that they don't get the flack for including the country that's currently not in the best spot in world politics. Oh right, they go to Tokyo, right? I forgot. That's a major part. Whoops, my bad. Um, which is only for the visuals. There is no reason to go there, really. Um, yeah, John Wick is a comedy, and you're the joke if you're paying money to see it. That's my honest opinion on this. Do not support this movie. I don't understand how most of the reviews that I've seen are positive and happy with this movie, partially saying it's the best out of the series. It does not make sense. It do- God, suspending disbelief has never been my strong suit, but I do if it's necessary. In this world, their own logic does not add up. They have bulletproof suits, which they get shot with whilst wearing. So I suppose you're not going to have the bullet will not tear through you, but you're gonna feel it at least. They get thrown back by the also one of the great things that does not make any fucking sense. They get thrown back by shotgun shells and stuff, and then have no bruising or impact on their body, really? That doesn't crack a rib or something? No? Okay. John Wick drops from 5 yards onto his back and is fine. Okay. Doesn't make any sense. I understand he's the hero, but he's not a superhero. He's a protagonist. That's it. Yes, he's wearing a bulletproof suit. It doesn't help with that. They, whilst in Tokyo, they try to use bow and arrow and katanas, and then nunchucks, and it does not make any sense. John Wick at one point pulls out a rifle to fight close quarters. I'm not a gun person, but that does not make sense. Take a shotgun, even though that's also not quite close range. Yes, you can obviously use a close range, but take a pistol for that. I thought you were the pistol guy. I thought that gun jitsu, I thought that's your thing. Not even. Not in this movie, no. Um, I understand Keanu knows jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and I loved seeing one trip that he has once he's on the ground, but then he continues to use that trip over and over, which I suppose if you're good at that, sure, but Brazilian jiu-jitsu for a fight really isn't, you don't want to be on the ground, so don't do that. Yeah, no. If you are a logical person, you have any experience with fighting, guns, bows and arrows, any of that stuff, don't watch it. If you, I specifically remember a Transformers movie in 2013 or 14, the one with the dinosaurs. For most of the movie, they're in the US, I'm pretty sure. And then for the last 40 minutes, And I was certain the movie was over as they're doing the transition scene. But then the transition is they're in China now, so that this movie will land in China, which I can understand, but it's just so blatant and obvious. They're doing the exact same thing here to include the rich European audience. They never go to India in these movies, do they? Strange. Huh. It's weird. I suppose the colors are nice. Some of the fight scenes you could cut up into something nice. You could take this movie from 2 hours and 50 minutes, cut it down to a 60-minute episode, and it might be decent. I'm pretty sure that's where I'll, that's my verdict on this. Cut out all the bullshit and just make it a good movie. God. Don't pay money for this. Please. Keanu Reeves, his acting, I understand his acting has never been the greatest, obviously, but it's worse in this because it just continues being, oh yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back. It's basically that, just with different words. I enjoyed the first two movies. It's been downhill from there. God. This is my opinion. You can obviously disagree. Feel free to correct me where I'm wrong. My mind is too logical to just suspend disbelief entirely, especially if I'm trying to understand and stick with the rules of that universe and it still doesn't make sense. Nah. No. Just literally the first minute, I already was tilted and annoyed by the movie. They're riding in the desert with camels or horses, I can't remember. Horses probably. The other three people are being chased by John Wick. Turn around and shoot him. Or anything. Give it a try. No. Those three people get dropped. And then John Wick arrives at a. He kills some dude. I genuinely forgot who that dude is. Apparently he's important or something. In the middle of the desert on a carpet. Why would anybody be out there? Just sitting in the desert on a carpet. There's way too little sand on anything. So it's not realistic. Then it's just, oh, somewhere in the desert. Ooh, carpet making people. Aladdin, apparently. Have you seen Dubai? It's not what it's like. It's not what it's like. God. Don't know what to say. Please don't watch this. Please keep your money. Don't support this. I hope the series is over at this point. It sucked.